What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. Going to be playing a game on TCG this morning, and it is early. This is probably the earliest I have filmed a video in recent memory. 7:48 a.m. on December 11th. Just got back from the hospital, actually. I was getting an MRI done on my knee. Think I have a torn meniscus. So that's a bummer. I injured it all the way back in July and was like hoping that it would heal, and it never did. So thinking that I've got a messed up meniscus there. Gonna figure that out in about a week and get that worked on. But anyways, I am playing an expanded Gardevoir GX deck here. Pretty stoked about it. I was working on the list a little bit last night. I think there are a bunch of different ways to play Gardevoir in expanded format. You could play it with Swampert. You can play it with Octillery as well. I'm back and forth between the two. I'm trying out Swampert right now. Last night I was trying Octillery. I have quit probably like 3 games because I just lost because of double timer ball tails. I wish that there was a card that I would rather play, but I think that the free search of Timer Ball just should be correct, right? It just should be good with Alolan Ninetales. It just, even in an expanded format, there's almost no better card to play. It is just so frustrating. It is very frustrating playing that card. Actually, we got the Field Blower, so that's excellent. I could just Field Blower that, and then I can go and Ultra Ball away this Colress and the DCE. And we are going to, let's see, this thing's got 70 hit points, don't you? That's fine. We'll go get a Lele for a Bridget here and grab ourselves 3 basics. Looks like I'm playing against a Greninja deck, so that's like not awesome for my Gardevoir stuff here. Like, we don't love that, but we'll deal with it. Bridget, we've got probably another Ralts, a Vulpix, and also another Ralts probably. Yeah, that's probably just what we're looking at. So we've got a bunch of that stuff out into play, and we will retreat and beacon this turn. That's just what the doctor is ordering. Cool stuff. So off of this, we will gladly get ourselves an Alolan Ninetales and a Swampert. Now, like I said, I have tried an expanded format, a bunch of different ways to play this deck. I mean, you could play Tropical Beach in here. I don't think that you need Tropical Beach, though, especially if you're going to be using Beacon. So I think Alolan Ninetales is just easily the best way to play this deck. So if you're going to be playing Alolan Ninetales, you're definitely going to be playing Vulpix. If you're going to be playing Vulpix, you're probably going to be using Beacon. I tried jamming for Tropical Beach in this expanded Gardy deck, and I'm telling you, it just was not that easy to fit. So I think that this is going to be the best way to do things here. Gonna be getting myself a big Colress turn this turn, so that is good. I will gladly evolve a Kirlia, go into my Ninetales, and we are going to, yes, search for a rare candy and a, get a rare candy. We've already got a Verse Seeker for Colress. We could switch, probably just a rare candy and a Timer Ball, and then I guess we kind of hope that we trade into something. That, or I could get the Comp Search, and Energy Lotto would just still be very good in this deck. I'm thinking Energy Lotto would help me search out energy off of the Ninetales. Sometimes that's all you want, so we'll see what we get here off of this. There's actually nothing that I really want off the Timer Ball, though. I already have my Swampert, so I don't really know. We'll figure it out, though. So we'll go in and Double Tails a Timer Ball. That's fine. Don't even have to think about it. That is like my 4th Double Tails in a row on Timer Ball. So I guess it would have been cool if I like double hedged and I could have like searched for something, and then traded, power draw, and then potentially gotten myself something else. It would have been pretty rad, but we're cool, actually. We're just, like, totally fine. We could power draw away this, probably the Alolan Ninetales we don't need anymore. So we've got the Gardy in hand. That's awesome. We can Ultra Ball away. We probably want to get rid of a Fairy Energy is fine, and the Brooklet Hill. And that way we could just super rod some stuff back into the deck if we need to, and then we could go in and Snowy Wind. I actually kind of like keeping that. We'll get rid of the Cynthia and the Brooklet Hill. I have the Versus Seeker in my hand, so that's cool. We'll just get Gardy, and now we could Secret Spring and attach. So this is a great turn 2 from this deck, and we're going to be able to snipe 30 damage onto something else. Now, Alolan Ninetales is not exactly our ideal attacker out here. It's pretty good early on to be able to snipe things on my opponent's bench, but it's definitely not like the best attacker here. I think we have to, sniping 30 to Froakie doesn't feel great. I feel like I would rather do 30 damage to a Frogadier, but because we know that Froakie is just like getting ready to evolve again. So I think I'll just do 30 damage to a Frogadier and soften up one of those. But getting a turn 2 knockout does feel good. I'm thinking that this matchup should just get ugly quick. I mean, my opponent is probably going to start Shadow Stitching immediately, which will lock me out of my Secret Spring, and then, in comes the ends and N galore, and it's just going to be kind of disastrous. So I've been looking at Gardy, like I said, for the last day or so, and I do think it's got a lot of potential in expanded format. Alolan Ninetales just makes this deck a complete monster as far as consistency goes as well. I mean, auto knockout Ultra Beast is always a +2, but the consistency that Ninetales brings to this Stage 2 deck just really makes it a versatile deck that is competitive in all formats, in my opinion. But trying to figure out what matchups do I tech for in expanded format is always a challenge as well, because it's not easy to pick what matchups that you think that you're going to encounter in an expanded event. Like, for instance, I'm playing against Greninja now. I haven't teched for Greninja. I could put a Giratina in here. I haven't teched for Night March in my list yet either. I could put a tech for Night March in here. I should probably be playing a Karen, but it's just there's only a limited amount of space in expanded format, and there are so many good cards to play, so you can't really play them all. See, I could put Super Boost this turn. That would be live. I'd do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I would knock out that Greninja, which would be pretty decent. I could also just snipe 70, 30 again, but I think just being proactive and knocking out this thing would be pretty rad, honestly. I could do it with Swampert too, which would just be pretty sick. So I'm thinking, let's go in with the Gardy. That's fine. I will probably end up just retreating and then super rodding that stuff back in, and then I'll Colress for a ton. So let's just go ahead and do that. Yeah, we're doing 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, I needed another Gardy as well, but that's cool. We'll hit the other Gardy. I ain't scared. I ain't worried about none. All right, we're going to hit that Gardy here off of the Colress when we Colress for 9. Let's do it, buddy. Let's get that action going. All right. I guess safe play, I could have just gone in with the Ninetales and hit again, but we just knew we were going to get the other Gardy in play, so we're going to be taking this thing out in one hit. So that's really good as well. I'm cool with it. That seems fine. Let's just go ahead and Infinite Force. We wanted to get this Greninja out the way to kind of just slow my opponent down and make it so that they weren't going to be taking multiple turns of Giant Water Shuriken. I didn't want them to get 2 Giant Water Shurikens off that turn, and I want to also force them to just have the Enhanced Hammer. If they don't have the Enhanced Hammer this turn, this Gardevoir GX can get out of hand very quickly, even without abilities. So they pretty much have to rip it off whatever supporter they got, which is an N to 6. If they don't rip the Enhanced Hammer here, then this Gardy could just become out of hand very fast. I do have a hand full of energy, which is great. So they've got a choice band. Do they got anything else? No. This Gardy is taking another prize, so that's good. And I get another turn of attaching energy here. I think I'm okay just attaching the double colorless, honestly, and just stacking as much energy as I can on this thing, which feels pretty good. And then I can just N again. That's probably okay. See, 3, 6, 9, 12. No, I need to start putting energy onto a benched Gardy for sure. Making sure that one of these guys is ready to attack. So I think since I have all this energy in my hand, I probably just, knock out and go from there. I don't really need anything else. We just infinite force this guy for knockout, 150 damage again. Keep these DCEs. Hope that my opponent doesn't hit an enhanced hammer again this turn. That would be very good. But we could see kind of how sketchy this matchup is. If my opponent can just like Faba this thing away, I'm sure my opponent's about to teammates for enhanced hammer. They need to get this super boost energy out of the way. And once they do, it's going to be much easier for my opponent to take control of this matchup, which is unfortunate for us. It's one of the reasons why I guess Giratina would definitely help here, but I just don't know that there's much else that we could do, right? I think like at this point, my opponent is probably going to just start taking control of this matchup, and there's not much that can be done about it. I am out of my abilities. I have N as my draw card in my hand. It's just not very pretty. So I'm okay just kind of stacking some energy on the bench here, and we're just going to pass. Like eventually my opponent's going to have to knock that thing out. I do know that they can Giant Water Shuriken my bench dude as well, but I don't feel like there was any point in retreating that. So I don't know. Maybe I should have retreated and poked it for 60 damage. Probably was the correct play. But my opponent, let's see, they got 3, 6, 9, 12, 12, 150. That's not quite enough. I can't actually knock out the Greninja and retreat in the same turn. They are missing a ton of Giant Water Shurikens, though, so that is very good for me. We also have Gallade. Gallade would be very good for us. Non-GX Pokemon, so I am going to be rocking the Gallade this game for sure. I want my opponent to take a couple prizes before I play this end, though. I want to end them to 4 and limit their options. So I think I'm going to just, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12. Plus 3 is 150. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stack one more DCE here. Like, they can't remove it all, right? I'm going to be okay. I mean, how many enhanced hammers do they really play? They got a Talonflame version of the deck. There's no way they play 2 enhanced hammers. There's no way they play 3 enhanced hammers, right? Like, they probably play just the 2. So that's fine. We'll go in with Gallade next turn. And Sensitive Blade is just going to be really strong, 130. That's actually not a knockout. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that Gallade is not going to be who I want. Sad. Do have Colress and Guzma here though, so the Gallade could take a knockout on this Greninja next turn. But I think we just need to start, stacking with this Gardy here in the active, and just take like a big one-hit KO here with that thing. Otherwise, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I think I need to promote this thing, though I don't exactly want to. I would rather this Gallade take the hit. So I think that's just what we got going on. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah. We're going to let this non-GX take the hit here. And then we'll go from there. That's just kind of where I'm at. Think I need to Guzma next turn. I'm going to Guzma this Greninja, attach a DCE, and then try to have like a fresh, if I get to Guzma that thing, that would be very good. But yeah, it's very annoying. My opponent is going to get to Giant Water Shuriken again, which is not what I want. And then they'll Shadow Stitch, keep that 40 damage. So fortunately, I do get to knock out a break this turn because they promoted this one. So we'll just Guzma. We're going to take out this guy. And then next turn we will Colress. So this is just what we got. We got an infinite force here, and hope that my opponent does not remove this DCE. If they have a third enhanced hammer, that is going to be quite troubling. But this is kind of a very typical Greninja matchup. I feel like my opponent is just got me down to the wire here with the 2 Greninja breaks. They are going to be able to do, with the Fisherman, 120 damage worth of snipe plus a giant plus a shadow stitching for 40 damage. It's 160 plus the 60 I already had. That's 220. So I think they have to Moonlight Slash, but at this point they're going to remove my Gardevoir from play completely. So I don't really think it matters if they give me my abilities. They should just, unless they have the Choice Band, they should just Moonlight Slash here for knockout, which they are definitely going to do. So close one there. What more can you do, right? Greninja, I think, is just going to get the best of me here, and there is not much more that I am going to be able to do about it. That is just that. So, throwing in the towel on this game. Well played. You have a good deck. All right. Good job, sir. And I am out. Yes, no more Gardys left in play. Makes me a sad man. All right, so that's a bad matchup. Gardevoir GX. I do really love Gallade in this deck. I think Gallade and Swampert are just awesome when paired together. It's just a super cool combination. Being able to stack your top deck and then power draw into it can really help complete some combos later in the game, which is awesome. The power draw is a little bit easier to work with than, say, Octillery, which it requires you to kind of pare your hand down first in order to draw cards. Power draw, you are at least guaranteed into your top 3. So with Premonition, you can look at your top 5 and then make sure that you hit the card that you want off of power draw. I really like that combination in the deck. Gallade is also just a fantastic attacker against decks like Zoroark, right? I mean, being able to one-shot Zoroarks is really, really good as well. And then having the option to kind of pivot around between attackers with cards like Switch is really cool too. So I do include a Switch in my list. It's just nice, a little movability option when paired with Alolan Ninetales GX. Think that it increases the, just increases the flexibility of the deck a lot and saves some energy in a pinch, which I really like too. Excited about this matchup. Looks like we're playing against a Zoroark deck. I haven't gotten to test the Gardy deck against Zoroark yet. We should theoretically be good. Gardevoir has a ton of hit points and just also Gallade. So there just is so much that we can do against this deck. Double Vulpix start, don't mind that at all. Bridget in hand, computer search as well. We are good to go here. Of course, we're not trying to get item locked early with this deck. That would be no good. Though we do have options. If we do get item locked, we can evolve up through Curlia, though it's not exactly optimal. And we can also I guess, hit with our Alolan Ninetales GX, though that probably won't be doing quite enough damage to make it worth it when we are getting item locked and energy removal. So, interesting. Looking forward to seeing what my opponent is playing here. They got Magcargo out. They've got Zoroarks, or Zoruas on the bench. We've got a fantastic start here, though. I don't think I'm getting item lock next turn, so, we should be all right. Let's just go in with the turn 1 Bridget, and then we're going to definitely Beacon. So, we'll get a couple rolls. I already have the Vulpix. I prized both my Mudkips. Oh, jeez. All right, so that's just what we got going on. That's fine. I could just get the 2 here, and that's it. I think I'm just getting these guys off my Bridget. It's rad. All right, and I can only get 4 basic Pokemon into play. That's fine. We'll definitely get a big Gardy out next turn or a Gallade, so that's probably going to end up being okay. I guess I could computer search preemptively just to make sure that I do have a supporter just in case I do get item locked. But let's be honest, if I get item locked turn 2, this game's pretty much over anyway. So I think I would like to just keep my options available to me. I think that this Vulpix is going down next turn. I will just attach that energy, and then let's just Beacon. Sure, I'm fine with that. We'll get ourselves a Gallade and a Gardy. Nope, we're getting a Ninetales and a Gallade. That's how we'll go in here. Sure. Yeah, so let's hope that my opponent doesn't play weakness policy. That would make this whole ordeal just a lot easier for sure. They do have choice bands on their Zoruas, though, so that makes me think that maybe they're not prepping for the whole weakness policy treatment, though a lot of Zoroark decks are playing weakness policy just to protect them a little bit from fighting type opponents. So that's something that I do need to be a little bit wary of. I do have one Field Blower in the deck. It is searchable with the Alolan Ninetales GX, so that's like very good for me too. Let's see, they're going to get at least 2 Zoroarks into play, it looks like, ditching a special charge there in the process. A lot of supporter cards in the discard pile early. My opponent's also got a beautiful looking deck. Wow, look at that. Rainbow Rare Lele's. They've got Reverse Hollow Sudowoodos, Full Art Supporters, Blinged Out Ultra Balls. Very nice looking deck on my opponent's part. Yup, that Ralts with the energy is a goner. Kind of expected that, to be honest, but it's fine. Got to shoot your shot sometimes, see if the energy's going to stick. I guess I could have gripped it in my hand, but I was kind of expecting to go in with the Gallade next turn, so it's fine, really. I think I'm going to be all right. So not having Swampert is for sure a bummer. The Swampert would make it so that I could do the Gallade Swampert combo there and kind of make it so that I could stack my hand and get what card I needed off of the, let's see, off of the situation here. We gotta hope that we top deck a supporter for sure. That's gonna help us out a lot. Though I can knock out this Zoroark with a Gallade, like I have it. Yes, the end definitely helps. So what we want to do here is evolve into Alolan Ninetales, get ourselves. Yes, I would like 2 item cards, please. I would like a rare candy and also a rare candy timer ball. We could get the Curlia. That's probably fine. We get rare candy and timer ball just in case we hit it. And then we'll evolve into the Gallade, comp search away the N and the Ultra Ball for DCE, and then N. Yes, beautiful. All right, so that's what we got going on here. Looking for a Curlia, I guess, off of that timer ball. So we'll see what we hit here. And it's another Double Tails. That's, you know, it's, we need to stop playing that card, honestly. So that's all good. We still got the knockout here. We'll continue onward. Comp search away the N and Ultra Ball. Get that double colorless energy. And take a sweet KO with Gallade on a nice Zoroark GX. Love it. Turn 2, fantastic stuff. So end my opponent to 5, and they're gonna scoop it up. Oh yeah! Get out of here. That's awesome. Double Tails on timer ball for what? For what? We'll take the dub. All right. So 1-1 here with Gardy Ninetales in expanded format. Let's get it. I'm gonna roll again. One more here with Gardevoir Ninetales. Gonna try it out one more time here. Hopefully get a good matchup. Been some tough pickings here on PTCGO this morning. Looks like I'm playing against Matt the Dark here. Cool stuff. Hello. And we'll see how we do. Definitely have seen some interesting decks on PTCGO this morning. No, I honestly considered playing like no Junipers in this deck. The having a Juniper away super boost is like the opposite of what you want to do. But with my top deck, I could Ultra Ball away potentially the Fairy Energy and something else. Oh my gosh, and we're facing a Seismitoad. So this is not what we want. This is just a Toad deck. I don't know that I could actually beat a Toad deck going in early, which is a major downfall to Gardy. You're just playing rare candies, and they can just lock you out of the game so easily with Quaking Punch, just being able to lock you out of those items. Really, really tough stuff. And that's why, you know, one of the main reasons as well is why expanded format has just become very straightforward as far as just, big basic decks or Zoroark decks, because anybody that requires rare candy to get into play is just at the whim of Seismitoad and Trevenant. I obviously can't, get these guys into play turn 1, so there's almost no option for me. Alolan Ninetales GX also just does almost nothing against a deck that is constantly removing my energy, so it's just going to be a tough state of affairs for me, unfortunately. Think we have to try to evolve up through Curlia. It's probably just going to be my best bet here. They probably play like tons of enhanced hammers and things like that, but I think I have to try and stick my super boost. Like, that's just probably all we got, and we'll see how we do here. I'll Ultra Ball away these guys. Can't really afford to bridge it I think I have to just go in and try my best. Like, we'll Ultra Ball for a Vulpix and hope that they don't get a turn 1 Quaking Punch, but honestly, I think the odds of them getting a turn 1 Quaking Punch are pretty high. So, alrighty then. We'll see this hand here, and that is just it. There's not much else I can do. Almost nothing I can do about this hand here. Just unfortunate. So my opponent slaps down a double colorless. They are just going to Quaking Punch here, and then we are just stuck. We are getting end, though, so maybe we find ourselves a Kirlia off the end. Would like that. That would be very good. We do find more supporters, so at least I'll take that. And then maybe if that Super Boost energy sticks for a couple turns, that would be insane. Odds are they will be grabbing like Faba or something like that off of the Battle Compressor and be able to Faba that thing into oblivion, sooner rather than later. So this is a major downfall of the Gardy deck, as I've said. Just going to be kind of a slow, painful death here, unfortunately. So let's figure some things out. We can evolve into Alolan Ninetail, sure. We can apply a little bit of pressure. I mean, there's no point in searching for these items. I cannot play them. So I think we're going with Nah over there. And then we're just going to do this and probably Cynthia. That's fine. I know there's no Enhanced Hammer in my opponent's deck right now, or in their hand right now, so that's fine. We'll just do the Ralts, and then we have to pass. Next turn, I can start to apply a little bit of damage, I guess, with Snowy Wind, but I don't like it, right? Feels bad, knowing that my opponent can just Faba my energy away, and we're just at the whim of whatever they want to do here under item lock. We could use Tapu Lele, I guess, would be like a valid option to attack into the Seismitoad and at least apply a little bit of pressure. But you have to know that, my opponent is probably going to be Ace-rolling and things like that. Just it would be very frustrating to try and do that as well. So this is Control Zoroark. We saw the Caracosta there, or the Tirtoga, not Caracosta, but Tirtoga. Tirtoga is supposed to keep them from decking out, so we know that this is a, Parallel City, is that what we're looking at? Yep, Parallel, alrighty. I think I want to get that, the Mudkip, we'll get the Ralts out of there, that's fine. So we kind of want to keep if by any chance they actually, oh yeah, here comes the Faba, get that Super Boost right out of here, and that's just going to be it. They can Quaking Punch, they're only doing 10 damage, but they don't care. They just want to remove all my energy from play. They're not even worried about, taking knockouts, really. They just want to remove all my energy and item lock me. So we've got a brand new hand here full of stuff we could do if we could play items, but we just can't. So we're just going to sit here and watch them remove all our energy from play. So I think that this is probably no good. This is what I'm getting myself into heading to the Anaheim Regional Championships this weekend. So I think, Gardy's a no-go for me. It's got too many Stage 2 Pokemon in it, relies too much on Rare Candy. This deck can just lock you out of the game completely. Feels bad, man. Maybe I could play more Kirlias in the deck, I suppose. That would probably help the situation. They're going to Team Skullgrunt. Joke's on you, I don't have any energy. Right, but if I did, that would be bad. And then they got an Enhanced Hammer as well. I just need to find Kirlia, but once I find the Kirlia, it doesn't even matter because, you know what, you have a good deck, sir. That's it. We're going to roll one more, see if we can actually show the deck off a little bit without just getting item locked out of the game or ability locked out of the game. We got ability locked with Greninja. We got item locked with Seismitoad. We got a turn 2 Gallade against the Zoroark, and then he scooped. That was great. Last game with Gardevoir GX in expanded format. This has been a rough morning trying to get some gameplays. Not gonna lie, expanded format is the Wild West out here. I'm not exactly sure that Gardevoir has the stuff to keep up anymore after about an hour of trying to get some gameplay action going on. It's just like Seismitoad is not good. Gardevoir can lock you out of the game. There's just a lot of bad things that can happen to your Stage 2 deck in expanded format. Greninja can ability lock you out. It's just it's kind of a rough go playing Stage 2s out here. You just got to play something completely degenerate in expanded format if you want to have a good time. Otherwise, it's just tough pickings, honestly. I think that Gardy seemed good in my head, seemed good in theory, but in practice, there's just a little bit too much required in order to set the deck up with some very aggressive and very limiting decks in expanded format that could just completely control what you were able to do. Looks like we're playing against Greninja again. Alrighty then, I will get ready for one more matchup against Greninja, and that is going to be it. This is our last game no matter what happens. Even if they scoop, I am just gonna keep it. Alright, so let's just go. We've got Bridget turn 1. That's really good as well. I know that I prized both my Mudkips. Okay, that's fine. Didn't need the Mudkips anyway. We'll just get a bunch of Ralts into play. That's fine here. So that's cool. We got Rare Candy into, Gardy turn 2. So we'll get those. That's pretty rad. And we're going first, so can't really complain. We'll just Rare Candy Gardy, and then honestly just Juniper this hand. The Max Potion is really good, so maybe, I'll probably end. Who am I kidding? Kind of need to save that Max Potion, I think, if I want to have a shot against this deck, but I may also just want to try and run my opponent off the table completely. They've got Bubble turn 1. That is not good for them. I think I can just completely win this game. In fact, with the top deck of the Alolan Ninetales there, we should have no problem doing that whatsoever. I can go get myself Computer Search and probably Timer Ball, to be honest, off of this in order to increase, let's see, no, I can get Switch. Computer Search and Switch, and then just retreat and knock them out. So that is game. All right, I said that this would be my last game no matter what. This has honestly been a very short one, so I think I will run one more, all right? I'm going to run one more, Uno Mas, and we will, let's see, can we do it with style points? Yeah, we'll do it with style points. Let's get that super boost energy and just take the win with super boost. All right, so for real, this is the last game. Gardy, final game with Gardy. It's way too early for all of this. It's not even 9 a.m. yet, but we'll see what Tico27 has in store for us on this beautiful Tuesday morning. What you got, Tico? All right, I'm going second. Not a problem at all. You know what? It's cool. Low stress. Playing Gardy. We've got a pretty bad hand here, so this could just end quickly. We could just get run off the table by whatever my opponent's got going on. We don't even have a Vulpix, so we can't even Ninetales for anything. Anyways, yeah, we're probably going to lose this one real quick, and then we'll just show off the list so you guys know what not to play at Anaheim. And then go on for there. We were playing against a Zoroark deck. Oh, goody. So let's try not to get Quaking Punched early. That would definitely be for the best. Honestly, Quaking Punch is just so really bad for this deck early on. I'm only playing one copy of Kirlia in the deck right now. To fit more, you just really have to compromise in a lot of other areas. And then once I show off the list, you guys will see the list is already very bare bones. Like, there's not really a lot of space for anything. You would have to be very aggressive, I think, with some cuts in order to accommodate for various things. And if you're playing cards like multiple copies of Kirlia, Marsh Stomps, and things like that, you're probably not playing other cards that are really good. So it's just kind of a tough back and forth trying to figure out what stuff you actually make space for in this deck. My opponent's likely going for a turn 1 Lecture. I was guessing a Bridget, but I guess Lecture's probably fine in a Zoroark deck. But Bridget does give you the option to go get things like, oh, wow, they are playing Noibat and Egg. Okay, so I like Lecture if they're going to go get Egg with it. That's kind of a neat thing that they can do. The Bridget puts Pokemon straight onto the bench, whereas the Execute they can put into their hands so that they can Ultra Ball away. Yeah, I got nothing going on here. So that's, I feel like just going to be a wrap. Like, yeah, you know, all right, we're going to give it a shot. I mean, I'll try to hang on for dear life. I guess I'll just attach my energy and we'll see how it goes. I'm also just going to Guzma. We're going to Guzma up to Lele. That's probably a safe place for me to be. And then if I top deck like a Gardy, I guess I could probably knock out like if they go in with like this thing, I guess. But if they item lock me, it's going to be all bad. There's just like a bunch of bad stuff that can happen here that I'm not really all that excited about. So thinking this is just going to be a wrap. I have been trying to film Gardevoir GX gameplays and expanded for like, probably I've spent 3 hours total trying to film Gardevoir GX gameplays and expanded. And I guess like 2.5 hours of it has just been pure garbage. So what you're seeing here is the least garbagey stuff out of everything that I have filmed over the last. And honestly, at this point, I need to cut my losses. And we're just, hey, shipping it. This is a video about how bad of a time Andrew had trying to film Gardevoir GX in expanded format. Go ahead, knock them out. Just knock them out. If you knock them out, I'll quit. Oh yeah, okay, I think that's it. I'm just kidding. If I top deck a Swampert, I'll stay in the game, guys. If I top deck Swampert, we'll stay, or a supporter, then I'll stay in the game. Oh, a Colress. Okay, all right, we'll stick around. Okay, so let's just super rod those things back into the deck, and then we'll Colress, and then we'll see how we do. Colress for 4. What do we got off Colress for 4? Rare Candy Swampert? Yeah, not quite. All right, my guy, you got this game. That's it. Gardevoir GX expanded format had a really rough go at it. Yeah, no, was trying to be positive about the deck for a while there, but now I'm just like, I don't really think that I could stomach it much longer. Rare candy decks, no. I just need to play something with like big basic Pokemon. That or Zoroark, you know, some sort of stage 1 Pokemon. That's really all I think I could fathom in expanded format. There's just way too much aggressive stuff going on in there. Though I do like the idea of Gallade in expanded. I do like the idea of pairing it with Swampert, and Power Draw into Premonition is like really cool. Alolan Ninetales is really cool. There are not as many Ultra Beasts in expanded format as there are in standard format though, so it's not quite as necessary. Guess I'm only playing 1. I used to have 2 copies of Bridget, only playing 1 now. The deck space is just extremely tight, as you can see. So that's what I was rocking with in the video here. I also, like I said in an earlier iteration of the deck, was trying out Octillery instead. I think I might like the Octillery version better. In the Octillery version, you would play like 2 or 1 copy of Octillery. You play a 1/1 Octillery actually, and then 1 Ditto Prism Star. So like that's a cool thing that you get to do in the Octillery version. You play a Ditto, and then you can also play 1 Remoraid. So Ditto is like really good in the Octillery version because it can evolve into Octillery, it can evolve into Ninetales, and it can evolve into Kirlia. So you have a lot of different options there. Then, of course, you take out the Super Boost and probably just replace it with another Fairy Energy, or you could replace it with an Energy Lotto, which I like as well. So those are all options there for that version of the deck. Either way, so if we were taking a look at what the Octillery version would look like, the Octillery version looks something like this. Either way, it's tough going for Gardevoir GX in expanded format. Honestly, spent like 3 hours on this, and I just, yeah, I mean, I'm personally throwing in the towel on it. Can't really get it to do what I want it to do. And this version of the deck doesn't have counters for Greninja, doesn't have counters for Night March. And it barely, you know, it can barely compete with the top contenders in the format anyway. So, unfortunately, tough goings for Stage 2 decks in expanded format. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell. Check out the Etsy store and Patreon stuff in the description below. And, of course, PhilGripGames.com. Peace.